Today is the 14th of July 2024, and that means that today is the channel's 5-year anniversary. Oh, how quickly the time has flown. And to celebrate this anniversary, I thought I would do something different today. So we're going to be baking a cake. Specifically, we're going to be baking a cake using this recipe on screen now. And believe it or not, this is actually a computer program. In 2002, David Morgenmahr created an esoteric programming language called Chef, which allowed you to create programs that looked like actual recipes. He also created a Hello World souffle that prints Hello World to the terminal, but it falls short of a few of the parameters necessary for Chef, such as being easy to make or delicious, as it used an incredible 26 liters of oil and over 100 eggs, which is not exactly ideal. So in 2003, Mike Wirth created the Hello World cake, which is what we're going to be making today, which uses much more sensible ingredients, a much more sensible amount of ingredients as well, to create a cake that not only prints Hello World to the terminal, but also apparently tastes quite nice. Or at least that's the plan anyway. I'm going to be going over all the semantics of Chef as we go through the recipe. I think that's just the easiest way to do it. But if you do want to learn more, as we're not going to be covering absolutely everything, then there are links in the description to both the Chef language specification, as well as Mike Wirth's blog post on how to make the cake. It should be noted that I haven't actually looked at the bit where he makes it because I wanted to go into this completely blind. This is either going to be amazing or catastrophic, and it would be fun to find out which. So each Chef program starts with the recipe title, in this case just Hello World Cake with Chocolate Sauce, and a bit of a description. This is counted as a comment. Any free text in the program is considered a comment and is ignored. This just provides a little bit of preamble as to what certain things mean. And then we get to the ingredients. And this is the first actual section of the program. It tells the program what values it needs to use. So the ingredients can be anything, it's the actual numbers that matter. In terms of the cake, we have 33 grams of chocolate chips, 100 grams of butter, 54 milliliters of double cream. Can already tell this is going to be an exact science. 2 pinches of baking powder, so not quite as an exact science as I thought. 114 grams of sugar, 111 milliliters of beaten eggs, which is the one I'm really looking forward to. 119 grams of flour, and finally 32 grams of cocoa powder. And that's just for the cake. We'll get to the chocolate sauce a bit later. You will notice, if you look, there is 0 grams of cake mixture in the recipe. That's just for convenience sake. This is a computer program. You have to kind of hack it sometimes. So firstly, before we do anything, we need to preheat the oven to 180 degrees, which I'm going to do now. And with the power of video editing, you can no longer hear it. Incidentally, that is the best click I've ever done in my life. And now we move on to the actual method. I'm going to weigh out all the ingredients as part of the method, but the method defines the actual steps that the program needs to take. So the method is sort of the actual lines of code in a way. Firstly, the chocolate chips. I've dropped them already. This is a really good start. And I am going to try and be as exact as I possibly can in this. So we'll try and get exactly 33 grams. I've not cut that in the right place. 29. 31, it was 33, right? 35, no. It's fine. There's an easier way to deal with this problem. Here we go, 33 grams. And you put that into the mixing bowl. Conveniently, this thing. Next thing is the butter, which I'm gonna have to cut, which is a bit annoying. Right, how much butter is actually in here? That would probably help. 250 grams, we need a little under half of it. So if we just cut this like here, or something, I'm gonna say. 85. Good first guess, I suppose. It's baking. Just use your hands. That's how these things work. 102. Bollocks. 100. Perfect. And oh God, I'll put this in. So I'll put this in. It's not a good angle for this at all. How about put this in. There we go. Next up is to put the double cream in, so we need 54 millimeters, or milliliters I should say. I should also say that the mixing bowl sort of acts a bit like a stack, and just putting something in there means to just put something on the stack essentially. Pretty much as you would expect really. And then with this we've got to be very exact, so I'm actually going to do this over the bowl. Although there's not super exact measurements on here, so we'll figure it out. That looks about right to be honest, so we'll just put that in there. Just straight up. That's a shot and a half, isn't it? I just realised I've got things in massively the wrong order here. Whoopsie, so I've combined the double cream a bit early. That's fine. We'll put that down to a typo. It'll be all right. Next, we've got to put the sugar in. That's what should have gone. Oh God, this is already going horrendously wrong now. To be honest, this is about what I expected. I haven't baked in a really, really long time. And there was a toss-up over whether this would be a wholesome baking tutorial or an absolute chaotic fest. Move that out of the way. And I think it's going to be the latter, as you perhaps expect. Right, let's at least try and get this right. So we got, oh, I was doing it by the order of the ingredients, not the method. That's where I was going wrong. 114 grams of sugar. That's a bit more solid than I thought it was going to be. 113, 114. That looks like a lot of sugar. Look at all that. It's all going in there, at least the bit that didn't go in the bowl anyway. Next is the eggs, the bit I'm really worried about. Here's how to crack an egg, I guess. That was a very interesting noise, but we got there in the end. So I'm actually not sure how many eggs this is going to end up being, because obviously eggs tend not to come in millimeter or milliliter values. That was about 50. So 2 and a bit, I guess. Now we've got to get 11 milliliters out of this last egg. I need to keep that in there. And then that's way too much already. So I don't know if you can see that, but we ended up with a bit too much egg there. So I'm gonna have to pour some down the sink until we get it right. And I can't get back, so that's currently 150. We've gone way over. That'll do. That's fine by me. This is all looking like a bit of a mess now, to be honest with you. Okay, next we need to put the flour in, and we need, how much flour do we need? 119 grams of flour, which we are going to need to sieve. What we'll do is the ascended strat of putting the sieve on the bowl before zeroing the scale. That's how the pros do it. I wouldn't expect the average baker to understand. 117, I'll do it 1 gram at a time, I will. 118, 120. Of course, knew that was gonna happen. 119, hey, we made it. Now we just gotta sieve it. Cool, big old pile, and going in the bowl. Next we need the baking powder, so this is 2 pinches. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work out. Stick my hand in there, I don't know. I'm gonna use a spoon. How much do we think 2 pinches is gonna be? Does that look like a pinch? I would say that's probably a pinch. 1 pinch, 2 pinches. Put the cocoa powder in, so we need 32 grams of cocoa powder. Let me zero out the scales. Oh, this whole tin is only 125 grams, but this stuff is light. Well, I can probably just pour this in then. Okay, we're gonna need way more cocoa powder than I thought. It's a good job I had a second tin already prepared. I'll tell you what, 32 grams of cocoa powder doesn't sound like a lot, but it sure well looks like a lot, because this is basically filling up the bowl now, more or less. There we go, this is apparently 32 grams worth of baking powder. All right, and that goes in. And now we just need to stir it. The next instruction is to stir the mixing bowl for 1 minute, but the instruction after that is to combine the double cream into the mixing bowl and then stir the mixing bowl for 4 minutes, which I sort of feel like I've already done. So I'm just gonna stir it for 5 minutes, I think. I'm also finding myself looking at the screen rather than the lens. I've got to look at you over there. Oh, there's a big mound. Oh, that's the butter. Oh, God. It's looking rather gloopy. I don't know if it's supposed to look rather gloopy, but it does. Here's what it currently looks like. Oh no, it just says liquefy. I don't know what liquefy means. Oh, this is so gloopy. I don't know if this is right. Oh no, have I messed it up? I am doing it for the full time that the recipe recommends. So I am gonna do this for the full 5 minutes. And then we'll see how it looks. There's still butter in this that hasn't been mixed in properly. So I'm just trying to make sure that actually gets mixed in. I'm definitely making some headway there now. Just gotta make it a real workout. See, there we go, stuff like that. I don't know if you can see that. I need to get that all mixed in, as well as everything else. Okay, I think that's the 5 minutes. I'm just gonna fold it a few times. I know some things about baking. And then we need to pour it into the baking dish. Okay, so I have the baking dish pre-prepared with grease paper in it. That was really loud. I didn't mean to do that. And now we just need to pour this into that. And then we need to bake it for about 25 minutes or so. Oh, how do I even hold this? There we go. Try and get, no, it's coming off. Oh, I saved it. Oh, I didn't save it. I didn't save it at all. I'm trying to get as much of it in as possible. And so that's going to involve using a wide array of spoons. It's also going to involve salvaging that from the wreckage. So I'm going to do easily like that. Oh, there we go. Smooth. Good job. Clean worktop. Always cook on a clean surface. That is the main takeaway from this. I would also like to take this opportunity to apologize to anyone that knows anything about baking because I am sure to have offended a great number of people today. I also don't know if I'm going to get people that actually want to watch baking properly on this, which is something I've only just now considered. So I think a number of apologies may be in order. So at present, it looks like this. I'm not the most hopeful in the world. This is gonna do anything. But I'm gonna put it in the oven for 25 minutes. And while we're doing that, we're gonna make the chocolate sauce and hope that no one dies as a result of this. I'm gonna take a very quick taste of the mixture and see what it's like. Oh, the lumps of chocolate chips, that makes sense. That actually tastes really nice though. I think we might actually be on for a winner. So now that we've got the cake in the oven, we can start on the chocolate sauce. So I've got another mixing bowl. It says clean the mixing bowl. I'm using the advanced strat of just using a different mixing bowl. And we have another list of ingredients, which include 111 grams of sugar, 108 milliliters of hot water, which will just come out the tap, 108 milliliters of heated double cream, and I've only just realized that it's heated cream. So I'm gonna have to plan around that. 101 grams of dark chocolate, and if you look really closely on the back, you'll see it definitely, absolutely says 101, not 100. There you go. And 72 grams of milk chocolate as well, because you can't have too much chocolate. So I'm actually gonna heat the double cream first before I do anything. And I'm actually, yeah, because it says liquefy the milk chocolate as well. So I'm actually gonna do all that first. You know, I was actually hoping to have all of the chocolate sauce ready to go by the time we got the cake out of the oven, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore. It's taken so long. I need to just pour it in very gently until we get to 108. There we go. Ignore all the stuff that went into the other bowl. That goes in here. And that gets heated to a degree. I don't know what, I'm just gonna put it on 3 and hope for the best, I think. I'll monitor that quite closely. We're also gonna put the chocolate in at this point. So I need a third bowl. And I think the big question is all the chocolate gonna fit in there? And the answer is, I bloody well hope so, because I don't have another bowl. All right, we're just gonna have to hope. I'm having to use the medium bowl for this bit because the small bowl doesn't actually, well, it fits a bit too well in the, in the milk pan, so just gonna have to hope that everything fits. If I get this out and use all 101 grams of this, which it definitely is, don't look it up. Just gotta break all this up and get it in there. Quite satisfying this actually. And then we've got to do 72 grams of this, so we've got to be a little bit more exact. 65, 70, 74, seriously? All right, it's just a smaller half. 72! Fantastic, so we can just put all that in there as well. Now I can have a little treat. And that's gonna go up. I have no idea what sort of temperature this goes on. I don't really want to start putting anything in until everything else over here is ready to go. So I might measure out the sugar and then cut for a bit until everything's done. And if we just stick, what is it? 111 grams in there. 111! Okay, it thought about going to 112 for a second, but it fell short of it, thankfully. So now I'm just gonna let everything heat up and I will come back when everything's ready to go. Okay, that's the 25 minutes up. let's get this out. There are a few updates, but we'll come to all those as and when. So the cake, bloody hell, should be done by now. Let me just get it out. Oh, you know what? It doesn't look too bad. Look at that. That actually looks okay. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. My hair is going weird as well. That's how amazed I am. So the other updates are that I forgot to put water in the milk pan to melt chocolate with, which is good. That went really well. Ended up almost overheating the cream, so I'm kind of micromanaging that. The chocolate is almost ready to go, actually. And I was thinking that I can probably just use the bowl that the chocolate is in to put everything else in, because the chocolate's already going to be in there. So I know it's not the right order, but shush, okay? It's fine. And I am going to try and be as exact as I possibly can in this. I just want this to work, because I think beyond miracle, the cake bit of it might actually be okay. Okay, so the cake has been out of the oven for a little while. I'm now going to transfer it to a corning rack and hope I don't completely mess this up. So, what? Oh no. Oh my God, it actually went okay. Look at that. It's a bit thin, but look at that. I do actually need a second corning rack because I need to turn this around the right way now. We can do that and like that. There we go. It's a bit thin, but it's a cake. It's an actual cake. So we're switching to roving cam for a bit to give my camera a bit of time to charge up because it's literally about to die. But I wanted to give you an update on the chocolate, which is pretty much done actually. Look at that, there we go. And the cream is also more or less done. I'm just kind of putting it on. It's been done for a while, but obviously forgetting to put the water in the chocolate kind of delayed it a bit. So I'm just kind of been micromanaging that. But yeah, once the camera's got a bit more charge in it, we'll be able to continue and actually make the chocolate sauce. Okay, so for this next bit, I'm going to be filming down, in part for a bit of variety, but also because the camera battery is genuinely really low. I need to plug it in to be able to finish this. We have the chocolate bowl here. This is the mix of the milk and the dark chocolate. I'm just going to put everything in there because it just makes a bit more sense. I'm actually going to move this a bit up, just so you can see a little bit more of what's going on. So first, we need to put the sugar into the mixing bowl. This is pre-weighed to 111 grams. So that just goes in there like that. We have 108 milliliters of hot water recording from roving cam. We're going to put that in. There we go. Next up, the heated double cream goes in. As you can see, it is heated and it is double cream. Now, how much was it again? It was 108, but it was pre-measured out earlier. So that just goes in there like that. Oh, it's getting everywhere as well. And now we just need to dissolve the sugar by stirring it. It does also say to liquefy the milk chocolate, put the milk chocolate and liquefy the dark chocolate and everything. We've already done that, obviously, because you've already melted it. We are just gonna mix this together and just try not to get it out everywhere. That does not look amazing so far. Hopefully that sorts itself out. Time I finish stirring it. Bits everywhere now. I don't even know what these bits are. No, I'm just trying to get all these little bits out before we do anything with it. Okay, I think this is as good as we're gonna get. So I'm gonna pour it now into the baking dish. Although the recipe specifies to just put it in the baking dish, the added context at the top specifies that the baking dish for the cake and the baking dish for the chocolate sauce are separate. And so we're gonna pour this into this and hope this can take all of this, because I really don't know if it will be able to. We will find out, I suppose. I can, thank God. A bit lumpy at the bottom. Hopefully that will be all right. Doesn't look much like sauce at the moment, really, does it? And now we just need to put this in the fridge. And now we wait an hour to see how it's come along. Right, shall we see how it fared? So it's sort of looking a bit runny, a bit more liquidy and then wobbly than I thought. It doesn't look as though it's the sort of thing you spread on the cake, maybe more something you pour on as you cut it off. So I think that's how I'm going to treat it. Absolutely no idea if it's supposed to be thicker than this, but this is just kind of how it turned out. It didn't set. So yeah. With that in mind, I think I'm gonna find something a bit fancier to decant it into. And then I'll do some arty shots of it, and then we will see how it tastes, because that is the big question. Does it actually taste any good? Frankly, it'd be a miracle if it does. And so there we have it, a full-on cake with candles. If you want to see me blow them out, watch till the end. We have a jug, nice little jug of chocolate sauce that I will pour on when I cut it, a plate, and some utensils. So we're going to see how this thing tastes. So it is a little bit flatter than I perhaps would have liked, but if we just cut somewhere from the center like that, and give myself, I don't know, that seems like a good size of cake. There we go, look at that. I'll put that a bit closer. There we go. It looks actually quite nice, you know. Just pour some chocolate sauce in it. I don't really know how much to pour, so I'm gonna give it a fairly generous amount. I imagine that will probably do. And now, for the moment of truth. No, it's actually really nice. I'm so happy it's not a disaster. You don't know how worried I was when I got the sauce out the fridge and saw that it was basically just liquid, because I thought it was going to be something you spread over the top. But no, I guess it's just a sauce you pour on. The cake is a bit flat. We did things in the wrong order. The sauce was very stressful, but we did it. And it's actually really nice. Before we end off, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that's watched any of my videos over the last 5 years. The journey the channel has taken, I know a lot of people, including myself, don't particularly like that word, but it's true that it's been such a weird adventure to be on. And as we come close to 20,000 subscribers, at the time of recording, I'm just past 18. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to every single one of you that has watched one of my videos, especially thank you to every single one that has subscribed. It means more than I could possibly say. And yeah, here's to another 5 years.